The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Arkansas, Mr. Hill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate that. Appreciate the panel before us bringing your expertise, and also thank you for your service to the country, those of you that have served ably at the Treasury and other locations. And there's no doubt that we've sanctioned Russia in this administration and in the Obama administration, and I just want to be on record that Congress supports that. We've worked together for 4 years, 2 in the Obama administration and 2 in the Trump administration, to send that message to Russia and to Putin and to his cronies. And I just hope that I sense a little bit of second guessing and a little significant criticism on the panel, and I wouldn't ask you if you supported President Obama's release of sanctions on Cuba, for example, Cuba being the largest supporter of the disaster in Venezuela. I won't put you on that spot. I won't put you on the spot, having worked in the Obama administration, about the lack of sanctioning Russia in any meaningful way for the absolute systematic dismantling and destruction of the country of Syria. I won't bring that subject up. But with that said, I really appreciate your service and appreciate your comments today, particularly the constructive ones you made. And I'm curious, as we've done on Iran in the last Congress, your views, Ms. Rosenberg, on this issue of naming names that Dr. Carpenter talked about in Russia, as we proposed in Iran in the last Congress, how to do that and also protect sources and methods, but get the point across. Excuse me, get the point across. Would you, because this legislation proposes that.
I do think there's an important role for transparency, and everywhere there's an opportunity to declassify information about Russian agents and entities that are involved in doing harm to U.S. national security, we should do that. And I appreciate the effort of Congress and this committee in particular in making this point precisely with regard to Russia. The particular language in this bill is designed to go after that point. There are other ways this committee has and that you can focus on the issue of declassifying information and making notice of it. One particularly important way to promote transparency in this regard is the legislation before this committee on beneficial ownership, which is a wonderful opportunity. I would urge you to advance that to the greatest extent possible. In addition to that, the opportunity, your urging of the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network and the Treasury more general to give information about the typologies or methodologies of Russian money laundering in the United States. Particularly, we heard the reference to geographic targeting orders, the purchase of high-end real estate in cash, for example. Which so
during excuse me to interrupt, but during the Obama administration, of course, we did sweep exams and targeting exams in New York and Miami that Dr. Carpenter was referencing. Do you think you had a good track record in that work?
I think there is much more to be done. I am pleased that that effort started. That was a new initiative just a number of years ago, and responded to a...
And it continues today, right?
Absolutely, and in many more geographic locations than have been named publicly so far.
Good. So I'm supportive of that too. This committee's been very supportive over the years of that geographic targeting. And I would hope that we would get testimony from FinCEN on exactly what they've learned from that, even if we have to do it in a classified setting. Because as we've talked in here, we collect beneficial ownership information, and we have a requirement to know our customers since 1999 in the financial industry. And if people don't understand the beneficial owners, they should have been filing a SAR on those people. So I always want audiences to understand we collect that information, and we've had a legal expectation to do that. And what the Treasury's tried to do in the last year or so is clarify what to measure. And what we're debating about is how to improve that collection, make it the best that it can be to support both the business community and the banking and financial community, and bring balance to that. But I don't want anyone watching this testimony to think that we don't collect beneficial ownership information. We don't have our financial institutions held to a high standard of trying to get that information and providing it to FinCEN when we have a particular concern about suspicious activity. Let me turn to North Korea, if I could. In the Treasury sanctioned Chinese trading companies that have had connections with North Korea, and in that reporting, there were 5,000 such companies in China operating between 2013 and 2016. It makes it very difficult, even though we've now sent a U.S. Coast Guard cutter over to help interdict in the waters there as of last month. Should we sanction the Chinese banks more aggressively, Ms. Rosenberg?
We have some examples of that to learn from. So the administration has gone after the Bank of Dandong as one example, Chinese financial institutions, and there are doubtless opportunities to think about that in the future.
Thank you. Go back.
Thank you.